It's showtime, folks. Welcome in, Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game here on this Thursday. We are back at our home away from home, the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. Always enjoy being here.
Amen,
Think
brother.
next week we'll be back at Kitchen Notes, from what I understand. But what's up?
Be good to go. Yeah, one more day show here in Barlines, and then the Kitchen Notes at Omni. Saw the drawings, got a peek in there. My goodness,
They let you in there?
I peeked in there. They did not
Okay.
let me in there, but don't tell me about it.
I'll let them know.
So it's going to be nice. So we look forward to be back at our home next week here at the Omni National Hotel and Kitchen Notes. So we'll do this. Today begins 5 straight days of football, baby.
Yes.
5 days. Got the Orange Bowl tonight, Cotton Bowl tomorrow night, playoffs, NFL playoffs this weekend. So we suffered through 3 days. We suffered through the Titans firing, and now we get some football to talk about tonight.
Yeah, it'll be nice to actually watch a game and not have to talk about a franchise that's all over the place.
True
is the best way to put it.
True. Unfortunate. I don't know if you saw this morning, but it came back. Frank Wycheck's daughters have a statement that Frank did suffer from CTE, and it's awful. And we all know Frank well when he was with us, and it's just awful. And there's going to be more of this coming down and everything. So again, we miss him. He's such a good,
it's like stage 4 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a statement's been released. I'm not a medical doctor, so you can read the statement and what it says. There are growing concerns around CTE, and there's, a lot of reasons why people or moms particularly aren't letting their kids play. And I understand it, but
sure,
at the same time, football now has never been as safe as it is with the protection with your helmets and shoulder pads. As I've said before, and I know we have Philip Forsberg coming up at 9:05, so I'll make my point really quick. But it all starts in youth football with teaching how to tackle to middle school, how to tackle without your head, tackle with your shoulder, with your arms, with your body, not with your head. And that's where it's going to start. And is the risk worth the reward? I don't know. I mean, I played football. My son didn't like football, so it's up to the individual of the family and all that. But this news with Frank is just, it's sad.
Well,
it's really sad.
And again, this is something that I think we can spend more time on. But I think it's changing too, where, like for instance, you said your son didn't like football. You listened to your son.
Yep.
You didn't force him to do something. I think there was a time where
you get out there, boy.
You get out there, you play, you rub dirt on it, whatever. And that mindset has changed. I think it's taken a while to change, but it has. And you're a prime example of that. I'm sure because of how much you love football, you obviously wanted him to play, but you want him to be happy too and to do his own thing.
Amen. And that was the thing. So I think more parents are listening to their kids, and it's okay, to do baseball and basketball.
I've heard your son sing. He's
Thank you.
He's definitely got some talent.
Not for me though, but anyway, it's sad, and that Frank was such an important person for a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and I think there'll be more of this going forward. But let's miss Frank, but we'll just focus on what's going on now. So,
Dr. Crane, I do not have a screener, so if you can let me know when Phil calls in, I would appreciate that. He's here. All right, well, let's say hello now to Philip Forsberg, Predators forward, who joins us on the program. Phil, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
We're doing great. Was it nice to be able to sleep in your own bed?
Yeah, that was good. So it's a long time coming, that's for sure. So it was great.
I know that we've talked before about road trips are good for teams. There's bonding and stuff, but this was a really, really long one. At some point, I'm kind of halfway joking here. Do you get sick of each other? You just like, guys, I need a break. We need to get back home.
I mean, I don't think you get sick of each other. I think you just, at the end of the day, you want to be home, right? Like people have families, or just the comfort of your own home. Just being able to lay on a couch and not in bed or whatever, sit in a little lounge chair or whatever your hotel room might have. So I think that's the biggest thing. Just the you miss your family and you miss your routines of being at home. And then the guys are obviously you get along with everyone, and that makes it easier. But the whole situation itself kind of wears on you as it goes on.
as we hit the halfway point of the season, how would you assess how you guys are playing now? Because I mean, it was kind of a mixed bag on the road trip, but you had some good wins. I think even in some of the losses, you can see where you guys are playing better. The result just wasn't there. So how would you assess on how you guys are playing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think ironically, I think the 3 games that we played better is the 3 games we lost versus the 2 games where we won. Because then I think those 2 games we were, kind of hanging on and got phenomenal goaltending to pull those 2 wins out. Versus the both. I mean, especially the first game in Winnipeg, I think we played pretty solid right until the end. A couple bad penalties in the third took that one away, and then Mini was a good game too to bounce back. We just, for those games, we couldn't. We kind of were shooting ourselves in the foot. And even the last game here, I think we're still playing decent, and we're down 3-0 after the first. So it's just kind of biting ourselves a little bit in the butt. But like you said, overall, we get 2 wins out of 5. It's, I mean, we obviously wanted more of the trip, but like you said, there is certain things that we did well, I think, that we can definitely take with us.
We're talking to Filip Forsberg on the Chase and Big Joe show. Now, like Chase had said, Philip, it's now halfway point of the season. 41 left. Now the second half is about to get underway. What do you guys need? Do you need that sweet bounce of the puck to go in the net, or this or that? What do you need, do you think, that could kind of turn this around as you head to the second half of the season?
I mean, I think it's certainly, puck luck is something that everybody needs, right? But I don't think you should rely on that in your game. And I think we obviously haven't been on the good side, so to speak, of that. But there's been nights when it wouldn't have mattered, because we haven't been playing well. But there's also games on the opposite end when I feel like we've been playing really well and we can't buy goals. So I think the last, even the first couple games when we played against St. Louis, and like I said, the Winnipeg game was all right, but St. Louis game when we came back wasn't great. But all the games we played, I think, at home before that, leading up to the Christmas break, and for most part of this trip, I think at least we're trending in the right direction. We're creating more offensive chances. I think the defensive side of the puck has been pretty solid for the most part of this season, despite our results. It's been more of the offense that's been the issue, and I think that's starting to come along. I think special teams have been really good at times. The penalty kill has been great for the most part this season, and power play has been a little bit hit or miss, but at the same time, the power play has won us games as well. So I think that's are things that we need to continue to work on. But at the same time, I think the 5-on-5 game is going to be the determining factor for us going forward here.
Oh, absolutely. Let me ask you this, Philip. What's the difference between being frustrated and being mad? Because I've heard your guys after the game, you're frustrated. I've heard sometimes after a loss, you guys are mad. Is there a balance? Is it the same thing? Is it better to be mad than frustrated, or the other way around?
I mean, I don't think you ever want to be frustrated. I think frustrated is a negative word. I don't know if necessarily mad is a positive one, but it's a different. I feel like being mad, you can kind of use that to your advantage, kind of play with more aggression. I think frustrating is just a negative word. You kind of let that seep into your game as something that you don't want. And after a game, it's different. But I think during the games, being frustrated is certainly not going to help you. But getting mad and start playing a little harder can definitely kickstart the team a little bit. So I think there's a difference between them, but ideally we stay away from both of them, obviously.
Filip Forsberg is with us, Predators forward, here on the Chase and Big Joe show. So you broke the streak the other night. You scored a goal. Now you've been a point per game player, or more than a point per game player, during that stretch. So your game's kind of changed a little bit, but I know it had to feel pretty good to put one in the back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's been, like you said, thankfully, a production, offensively. Even though I haven't been able to score, I've been able to find ways to help the team offensively. But at the end of the day, you want to score goals. You've had chances. You want them to go in, and obviously that was a good shot, big goal at the time, kind of keep us in that game and get us a little bit of a spark before going into the third there. And hopefully there's more to come now.
Is some of that, though, Philip, a result of the guys that you're playing with? I mean, obviously, like you just said, you want to score the goal every time you have the puck, but the fact that, you're playing with guys like Jonathan Marchessault and Steven Stamkos who are doing the same thing, have you kind of adjusted your game a little bit to fit with those guys?
A little bit. I think everybody adjusts whether whoever you play with. You kind of everybody starts at with their base game, so to speak, and then once you start getting to know each other, you realize the tendencies of your teammates, kind of where they like to be on the ice, what they like to do when they have the puck versus not, and then you kind of go from there, right? And I think that's something that me and Stammer and Marchie have kind of figured out pretty quickly. Honestly, it took a game or two to get us really clicking, and after that, I think it's been pretty solid for the most part. Like I said, we're generating a lot, especially off the rush. Those guys are both really good puck handlers, great skaters, especially Stammer when he can build that speed as a center. And we just try to use that as much as we can. And like you said, maybe we've gone away from a little bit of that forechecking game that we had a lot of success with last year playing with O'Reilly and Nyquist, but at the same time, we get a little bit more off the rush. And so I guess you could say that I changed it a little bit, but at the same time, I got to keep doing the things that I'm good at, to complement them as well, which I think I can do a little bit better job of going forward.
It's Philip, you guys come off this road trip. You seem like you've gone for 3 months. You come home, and they're like, all right, we'll come home and get a little rest. And then Saturday, you face one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, it's just no rest for the weary, right? I mean, it's just back at it and playing hockey.
Yeah, exactly. Just how we like it, right? But it's going to be good, especially just coming home and playing in front of the fans again. Feels like you said, it feels like it's been forever with the Christmas break and then the mini trip to St. Louis and then 5 more after that. And yeah, it's great. It was great to be back and kind of settle in yesterday, and we'll should have 2 really good practice days here leading up to Saturday.
Yeah, well, it's going to be fun to see you all back on home ice, a 5-game homestand, and I hope we get to see little Felix there as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's excited. He hasn't been able to go for a while, obviously, so he's ready to roll.
Awesome. Philip, thanks as always. We appreciate it, and we will see you Saturday.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Philip Forsberg joining us here on the program. Always enjoy our chats with Predators players. We'll have a little more hockey flavor later in the show. Greg Wyshynski will join us from ESPN. We'll start our weeklies with him now that we're into the new year. But coming up next, we get hot and heavy into the Titans. The latest with that, I heard Charles Robinson's comments this morning.
That was good
on the morning show. You got to listen to Charles Robinson when he joins Robbie and Rex Road every Thursday at 8.
That might, and I love John McClain, but Charles Robinson's up there with the knowledge and the insight that he's got. It's really good.
I have something that I want to have happen, and I'm a little ashamed that I want it to happen, but I don't think I'm the only one. We will discuss that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Here on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Happy.
Is this TV theme Thursday again?
Could be. Love it.
What you feeling today, Dr. Crane?
Some TV theme, might as well,
Okay.
right?
Okay. How you doing? You
I'm
good?
great, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
I've been up
I'm
since like
fantastic.
4:30, got a little
I
stretch
believe
in,
it.
and we're feeling good.
I believe it.
Love it, man. Good for you, buddy.
So there is something that that I want to have happen.
Okay.
And I feel like I hate that I want this to happen. But this is what the Titans have done to me. And I know I'm not the only one. So we all believe that Mike Vrabel is going to end up coaching the Patriots, right?
If he doesn't, I'm shocked.
I will be very, very, very surprised.
Okay.
If you look at the future opponents for next year, we don't have a schedule yet, but how things would shake out. The New England Patriots are supposed to come to Nashville
Love it.
and play at Nissan Stadium.
Opening game, please God.
I hope that that game is in prime time, and I hope Mike Vrabel comes in here and kicks the ever-loving crap out of the Titans. And every time they score a touchdown, I hope he turns around to the owner's box and just gives her a glare. Like
I like
every
it.
time.
I
am
like it.
that petty right now
Well, okay.
of how this franchise is, how she's handled this franchise, the state that they're in. I think Mike Vrabel looks better and better every day. And look, he wasn't perfect. We all know that. But I hope that happens. And I don't think I'm the only one that hope that happens.
So I love it. It's not prime time because nobody outside the Tennessee bubble
no,
gives a rat's butt about the Tennessee Titans, and it's not going to be. It's fun to talk about it here for us. We love it. To come back, it's going to be great. I'm hoping, that John Robinson and Vrabel are reunited with the Jets because don't they play the Jets again? Is it the AFC North? Not Northeast. I'm sorry, AFC East rotation.
let me.
Because I know it's similar to the 2017 schedule because they got to go out west and play the Cardinals
so
and the Niners.
it would be I'll just give you all the home games.
Okay.
The Chiefs, the Chargers, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Patriots, the Saints, the Texans, the Colts, the Jags. They do not play the Jets.
Okay.
They play this is how much the NFL loves the Titans. They play the NFC West and the AFC West. So they have to go to Denver, Las Vegas, Arizona, San Francisco.
Okay.
All of the and then Cleveland. So all of the 9-division road games except for Cleveland are all out west.
Ooh. All right. Well, they did in 17. They played the Cardinals and split the week and did because that's Malarkey
Yeah.
was on that team, and then they did the Niners the next week. Now I'm with you, man. I would love to see Vrabel get that job and come in here because we would talk about that. Let me go back to something. Go ahead.
Mike Mike in Lebanon says Vrabel should wear an Oilers hat. He should wear the Bump Phillips hat. Come out in the 10-gallon hat. Oh my God, that would be better than the Bud Adams double bird.
I will never forget when Vrabel went up to New England and got inducted in the Hall of Fame and said all those things. And Joe Rexrode was one of them who said, "Oh, it means nothing. It means nothing." Joe, you want to take that back now? Because it means
I think it meant something.
it means everything. Go back and listen to that speech. Vrabel not only had 1 foot out the door, he had 2 feet out the door. That speech said everything you needed to know about the Tennessee Titans. That was when he was here in the middle of the season in 23. So, yes, I would love to see him go to the Patriots. I'd love to see him come here because this franchise, this team, and again, I implore you to go back and listen to Charles Robinson, who was on with Robbie and Rexford, which is bizarre because here's a guy that barely covers a team that knows more than people who cover the team on a daily basis, which blows my mind. But it was good about Amy Strunk not being in the building. And I'm telling you, I couldn't get out of my car. Good radio is when you sit in your car. Sorry. Is when you sit in your car, spit on Chase. Good radio is when you sit in your car and don't get out because the conversation is you're so into it. And with Charles Robinson and with Robbie and Rex, I couldn't get out of my car. It was that good. And he had some great things to say, or not great things, but about Amy not being here. It's really something.
It is something for sure. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Matt from Nashville says, I'd rather Vrabel do his little smirk, and Amy deserves that so badly. But like, can you imagine just like there's a wide shot, Drake May leads the team down the field, they score, and Vrabel just kind of turns, looks at the owner's box, no expression on his face, just a stare.
You know what's even better?
That is just like a
I love it
you.
where you're going. Iowa waves to the kids in the hospital
Yeah.
during the end of the first quarter. If Vrabel gets the entire Patriot team to wave at Amy, I mean, would that not be the? And who cares if you win or lose? Doesn't matter. But at that moment, if the entire team waves at Amy, oh my gosh!
Yeah, look, it'd be better doing subtle, petty things like that. Would be better than like turning around and flipping her off.
Right? He would never. Imagine if he flipped her off?
No, it'd be like Ditka when he went viral for flipping off.
You come down here. Come down here. I'll whip your ass. Come down to my office.
I mean, so that honestly, that's where we're at. That's where we're at as Titans fans, of just feeling this way. I saw yesterday, because what have I been very consistent in saying since probably October? They need to make a GM change. They need to make a front office change. You hire an experienced GM to come in here, let them decide on the coach.
Right.
And the name that I have thrown out there that I'm a big fan of is Thomas Dimitroff, the former general manager of the Atlanta Falcons. He drafted Matt Ryan. He took them to a Super Bowl. He had a lot of success with the Atlanta Falcons. There was a report yesterday that Thomas Dimitroff is going to interview for the general manager job with the Tennessee Titans. And I can tell you, I feel very confident in what I'm about to say. There is no way in absolute hell he's going to get that job, because the job definition that Chad Brinker put out there that he has changed, apparently that changes now, does not fit the skill set of Thomas Dimitroff, because Thomas Dimitroff is a general manager in the traditional sense, he comes in and runs the football team, which Chad Brinker is not going to allow happen.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Dimitroff now. He's been out since 2020. I mean, a nice run.
Yeah, but he's been out, but he's been involved with his company that he's with. I mean, these guys are out, but they're also still connected.
He's been a scout. He started the Chiefs in 1993. He's been a scout for 32 seasons, roughly, in the National Football League. I'm sure he's still, although he's been gone from the Falcons since 2020. But you know what? The Falcons were good, like 12, 13, 14. There's a couple more Super Bowls they might have gone to had they not gotten beat in the playoffs, that, the teams that rose up and smacked him in the face. But I'm looking at his career. I mean, it's not bad, but he's been around the block enough to know that why come here?
Right.
So you're looking, basically, you said the other day, and which is great. Now I'll think about, they're hiring a chief scout.
Basically.
That's it. You're hiring a chief scout.
Director of player personnel, or
right.
And what was it? I kind of heard, Robbie and Rexro discussing this, and Charles brought it up, is the NFL changing? It's, are the Titans kind of getting on the forefront of how this is going to be? I don't think so, but we have seen, I mean, you remember back in the day, who was the GM? It was the coach. It was basically, they were the guy.
Yep.
Like, they picked the players and coached the players, and then it kind of split into two different positions, and it's certainly evolved over time. I think the general manager is still the general manager. I know, I was waiting for you to see that.
Joe, stay away. Rex wrote, holy crap, that's so dumb. Did it mean something to Amy? Yes, clearly. Mike should have clarified what he meant through afterward. Was he actually taking shots at his boss trying to get fired? Use your brain, Jared. Never said he's trying to get fired, Joe. You're the one, Joe Rexford, who went on the air and said all that meant nothing. Call the show and do your mea culpa, because you're the main one who said that meant nothing.
I think a lot of people.
He's the main one.
I'll defend Joe a little bit on this. I think a lot of people
he needs
sloughed it off, and we're kind of like, whatever. And then, like, as things kind of went along and you started reading the tea leaves, it became more of like, oh, he might have pissed her off.
Yep.
And then, I heard some things of like, yeah, she gets pissed off pretty easily, so he probably pissed her off.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what's said and done. Love you, Joe. I truly love you, man. Where were we? Oh, okay. Something else too. The list came out of the people they were talking to, and let's say this: the Browns person, the lady, right? I don't care if you're male or female. I don't care. Why are you talking to somebody from the Browns?
Yeah, right.
They are awful. They've been awful.
I mean, I can answer that question for you, but
yeah, right. Okay, go ahead.
called the Rooney Rule,
Right.
but well, okay.
Oh, here
I'm
we
not,
go.
I'm not trying to be. I really am asking this question, and I think I can't remember if I asked Rex Roeder. I would assume that a female counts towards the Rooney Rule,
I would think so. I
Right?
guess. I don't know.
because I mean that is a diverse candidate.
It is.
So I would, and look, it'd be awesome if like there's more women in the front offices, and the Titans have a female assistant coach.
Yep. If you
Lori,
are qualified for the job,
sure,
I got no
don't- yeah,
problem.
I don't care either. But
I got a problem. You're talking to the Browns.
yeah,
That's my problem.
I don't want anybody from the Browns. I don't want anybody from the Bears. Like,
No.
go get somebody from a good org. The Chiefs, like the assistant GM for the Chiefs is there, which there's no way in hell he's coming here because he
Right.
probably outshined Chad Brinker, and he ain't gonna allow that. So
It'd be like saying, hey, we're talking to Chase McCabe. What does he do? Well, he's a front office executive with the Jaguars. What would your reaction be? All I'm hearing is Jaguars.
yeah, I'd be like, no.
No, you're not coming. I don't want you
And
here.
look, I know there are good people that work for bad organizations, but
Yeah. Right.
like Vin Marino seems like a good guy. He works for a bad organization.
Salary cap guy, right? In his job.
He's
I
been
don't
around.
know.
Dr. Crane and his crack staff back at the studio. The Rooney Rule does involve women included as a minority candidate. Thank you, Dr. Crane. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Our ombudsman.
He's so good. We'll continue to take your calls and texts. Michael, hang tight. We'll get to you coming up next as we continue to talk about the Titans and the debacle that they are and what's next. Chasing Big Joe live from the Omni Nashville Hotel, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 1025, 1063 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Now, here's what's funny to me. A majority of people, I brought up the Vrabel thing, and they're like, yeah, they're kind of with me and all this. Steven on Twitter. And Steven, we love you. We appreciate you listening, but you just like to argue with us.
Stevie.
Says Mike Vrabel took over a team that won a playoff game and managed to win a playoff game in a whopping one season. He's not taking a crap Patriots team anywhere. Listening to you hope Vrabel puts a beating on the Titans is really sad. Okay, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. You're going to, whatever we say, you're going to say the opposite because that's what you do. I see it on Twitter all the time. So that's fine. Continue to do that, Oppo. It's what you are. But thanks for listening.
But are you a Chief Scout? That's what we're looking for.
That's what we're looking for. Stormy says, not if Vrabel beats the Titans, but when and by how many points. It's not about revenge, but the reckoning.
God, that is so true, right? That is so true in every which way possible. I mean, where do you think, if he doesn't land with, and hold on one second, Michael, real quick. If he doesn't land the Patriots, where do you think he lands?
The Raiders. Brady.
Well, now there's this little grumbling of Belichick.
No, I saw something yesterday that Belichick said no.
Good. Okay.
Diana Rossini put out the Belichick site. No, I'm going to coach at North Carolina.
Okay. Good. Because that would be a bad.
Did I send y'all? Somebody posted on Twitter last night, and it was the perfect thing, and I laughed so hard. And it was the caption said Tom Brady calling Bill Belichick to coach the Raiders, and it's the scene from Major League. Lou Brown answers, and it's like, how would you like to coach the Indians? He goes, I'll have to get back to you. Hey, I got to let you go, Charlie. Got somebody on the other line on some white walls. I laughed so hard. Let's go back to the phones. Michael wants to weigh in on the Titans. Michael, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Yeah, I completely agree with what everything has been said on the radio, on the airways past couple of days or so.
Thank you.
This team is going to hell in a handbasket pretty quick. Pardon my language, but it's just I don't agree with anything that's going on in the organization right now. And I think the only way that something's going to change is one, Amy sells the team, which is not going to happen, or two, we just get absolutely so embarrassed over the next couple of years, maybe hopefully just one season, if we're not already an embarrassment enough, to where she finally realizes, wow, maybe I'm the problem and does something about it and cleans house like she should have done. And if that involves going 0-17, losing every game by 40 points, then so be it. I'm a Titans fan through and through, and I want to see the team win, but that's not going to happen with the current construction of the organization right now. So I'll proudly wear that paper bag if that's what it takes.
Michael, let me ask you this. Do you truly believe in your heart of hearts that she's going to do that and admit she was wrong? Because I don't.
Unfortunately, I agree. She probably won't, and that's why I mentioned her selling the team. But that's even less likely to happen. So it's just, I guess we're just one of those organizations now, unfortunately.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate the call. I'll say this too, that the whole selling the team thing, I'm not ruling that out, but not for probably like 5 years.
No, it's not
because
happening.
when that new stadium opens, the value is going to continue. Like the Washington went for $6.1 billion or whatever it was, right? So that's going to push the value up of the other teams. The Cowboys are worth more than anything, but the Titans, I think the last time they were valued, it was somewhere in the fours, somewhere in there. She could probably, if she tried to sell them today, she could probably get $6 billion.
God, it would pay
because somebody wants a franchise.
I was told years ago that, and I said the other day, I was told that the franchise is in the family until they all can agree to sell it. Not one part, not the majority, not 2/3, like all agreed. That's what I was told years ago. I don't know if it's still the same way or not.
When that stadium opens and you're getting events and stuff, like it's going to push the value up. And, there might be. Now, the problem is the more the values go up, the less of a pool of potential buyers there are, because there's not many people that could go buy an NFL team on their own.
Fred Smith.
Yeah, I mean.
Why has he never bought a team?
Look, I mean, there are two names that come to mind of Tennessee natives, Fred Smith and then Bill Haslam, who owns the Predators.
I don't think they have that the Frisk do, HCA.
Yeah.
They've got
I think
billions.
the Haslams do.
Right, Bill Frisk. There'll be no Bill Frisk slander on this show.
I didn't slander
I'm
Bill
just
Frisk.
telling people. I like Bill Frisk is a good man.
He's a great man.
He's a good man.
Knew our families knew each other very well.
Look at you, man.
Yeah.
Holding stuff back on us every day.
I'd like to have reveals every now and then.
You like to be with we call them the peasants.
Yeah.
The Dubin side of things. That's
Yeah.
fine. I get it.
I am a peasant.
And the Dr. Crane side of things.
I hang with you guys. I am one of you guys.
Yes, you do. With all that. No, I just think that if you want to sell it, I don't think that gives them that cachet, man. That makes them feel important. They're never going to sell this. Ever.
Robbie Stanley says, "You talked me into it. I'll buy it." Robbie would be a great owner.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he'd
Robbie's
be
too
good.
nice.
No.
Robbie Stanley's one of the most genuine and nicest individuals I've ever come across in my life. I don't want to see him as an owner. Don't take
He
advantage of him.
is, but I've seen Robbie mad. So there could be, I don't know, Rob. There might be times where you get pissed off in the moment and you fire somebody.
Is he ginger mad? I mean, is that kind of a mad rage of a ginger, or just kind of like on
Yeah.
the surface?
Yeah, I mean, like anybody that coaches or works at the University of Tennessee, he'd probably fight at any given point.
Tell me why you'd buy this team. I want to know why you would buy if you had
If I could buy it
for $4 billion. Why would you buy the Titans franchise? Tell me why.
That's a good question. So, I mean, the easy answer is because I'd want to own an NFL team.
And then what? For your ego?
Yeah, I mean, they make money, obviously. I mean,
You
we
got
know that.
if you have enough money to buy $4 billion,
You don't need more money,
Right,
But
but
what
tell
do
me
rich
why.
people like? Rich people they want money.
right?
That's
And they want the prestige. What prestige are you getting from this football team? What prestige have they
well,
got?
you get but you get a reset. Like if you look at Washington is the perfect example. They had the worst owner in the league for 20 years.
right.
He sells the team, new guy buys it, comes in, and within a year has like changed the entire perception of the franchise.
Right.
And that happens sometimes. Now, the Carolina Panthers went the opposite direction. People forget, like Jerry Richardson was a pervert, and that's why he had to sell the team. But he was actually a decent owner.
That's such a word.
He was.
Oh,
I mean, am I wrong?
oh my god.
But like, you're right there.
Oh man. Just hearing that word out loud makes me laugh.
Pervert.
Pervert. Oh.
But I mean, and now they got Tepper in there, who's an idiot. I mean, just absolute idiot. So you can obviously, and that's the other thing. Like, Titans fans may get their wish. She sells the team, and whoever buys him is worse than her. I don't know how you could do that at this point, but
Yeah, the Redskins were sold for $6.05 billion, the largest transaction ever for a sports franchise. By the way, Dan Snyder moved to London in early 2020.
oh wow.
So yeah, I mean, if that team's getting 6, you're right. Titans will get that new stadium, close to that.
Matt says Elon bought and fixed Twitter. Let's see if he can fix this bleep show too. Could you imagine if Elon bought the Titans?
Well, you want to take on things that you think you could fix. I mean, can you fix this? I don't know.
You can.
Bill Gates could buy every NFL team if he wanted to.
Yeah. You know how you fix it? You buy it, you hire somebody to run the business side, you hire somebody to run the football side, and you get out of the way.
Can't do that.
It's very
I
simple.
can't do that.
You say, hey, send me reports whenever you want the reports. Let me know what you need. And then you have that advisor that kind of keeps you abreast of things. And when you need to get involved, you get involved. Like if the team's not winning, then yeah, you get involved. You fire somebody and bring somebody else in.
I mean, it's a fun topic, but they're never, ever, ever selling this franchise.
I think they will. I'm going to disagree with you.
No.
I think that's where this whole stadium thing came from. Because remember, for years, they weren't even interested in talking about it. Anytime you brought up the stadium, Nissan's fine. And then they got to the point where the city's like, hey, you need to do some renovations. And they looked at it, and the price tag for renovations
You're
was
right.
almost
I
as
forgot
much
about
as
that.
stadium. And then they see all these other new stadiums, and then the values of teams going up, and it's like, maybe we should do that.
Yep.
And let's get the city to pay for it.
By the way, Buffalo's new stadium, I love it because it's not a dome.
Yeah, I like that they did that too.
It's about 25%
It's
dome,
what
I think.
apparently it's what the fan base wanted.
Love it.
Like,
Love it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, is going out there and freezing and having fun and all that. It's like putting a dome at Lambeau, man. Nobody wants to see
Yeah.
that. So you're right, man. I forgot about that. The renovations were going to cost as much as the new stadium. And so build a new stadium and get it done, which looks like it might be done in a week over there.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. Kenny, we'll get to you coming up next. Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game.
Oh yeah.
Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game here on this Thursday. Live at the Omni Nashville Hotel here at Barlines. We'll be back at Kitchen Notes next week. Looking forward to that.
Amen.
Let's go back to the phones. Kenny the mailman wants to weigh in. Hi, Kenny. What's up?
Hello, good friends.
How are you?
Hey, pal.
I'm doing excellent. You know, there is a TV show that has absolutely ruined me anytime you talk about businesses, and it was called The Office. Did y'all watch that?
We
Yes,
have.
sir.
Okay, I went and looked up 3 or 4 quotes. At the time, I thought Michael Scott was talking about Dunder Mifflin, but did you know he was actually talking about the Titans? The first one was, I want all the credit, but none of the blame.
Yep. Honestly, that's what this feels like. Like Chad Brinker feels like Michael Scott.
Yeah. Number 2 was, I know exactly what to do, but in a real sense, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Quote
Yep.
number 2. And then next year, the Titans are 1-7, but they're wearing their special uniform playing the Texans. The owner goes down to the locker room right before the game, and you can see tears in her eyes and her dad's belt buckle on. And she looks at him and says, I want all y'all to be early birds and night owls. That way you'll be wise and get the worms.
Oh, good
I hate
stuff.
it, but our team has been just moved down to a joke. Y'all have a great day.
That's all we can do. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it. That's all we can do at this point.
It is.
Jeff says on the text line, seriously, considering the fact that this organization is in ruins, what effect do people in the know believe it will have on the new stadium's revenues? Here's the sad part. The answer to that question is none at all. Because if you're a PSL holder, a season ticket holder, and you're mad and you're like, I'm not renewing my tickets, that's fine. And you can do that. Somebody will. Or they'll have corporate, people come in and buy the tickets and all that stuff. That's the unfortunate part. And I love that fans have a voice and fans are upset, and they do have an impact to an extent, but there's a reason that all these people are still billionaires.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, they can piss you off. Like the NFL product in general is not very good, but guess what? They're still making money.
Yeah, 7575. Rich people don't just want money, they want exclusivity. And many want to be able to build something just to say that they did. It's the creation that gives purpose. 7575. You get the text of the day to all that. I don't think she will ever sell it. I think it's in the family for perpetuity. I think it's in there forever. It's not going anywhere because they're in this exclusive club. And really, at the end of the day, we're not winning games, but we're making money. We're making money, Chase. That's all that matters.
Right. And that's kind of where they're at this point.
Yeah.
That's where all NFL owners are.
That's why, Detroit or Buffalo win the Super Bowl. That's one more team that's got a Super Bowl. You don't. And you're not close to getting a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be in that club. And you're in that club. You might be the only one in that club going back a long time. I'm not counting the Jags, Panthers, or Texans because 95, and 02. Oilers came in the league in AFL in 60, but joined the merger in 70?
Yeah.
So you've been to one Super Bowl. One. That's it. And you ain't getting back for a while.
Nope.
Terrible.
Nope. It's not good. And I do wonder, though, every owner is going to say, our goal is to have the best football team and to win the Super Bowl. And they all say that. And then they get their, the checks come in or whatever. And they're like, we're good.
Yeah. Right?
Like.
Well, through all this, it's been clear now. And somebody says, hey, what's wrong with this football team? Amy Adams Strunk. It's very clear. And we talked about this ad nauseum. Go back to the draft of April 22 when I know we've beaten the dead horse when John had to go to her and say, look, A.J. Brown wants this money.
Yep. To
me, that's a defining moment in tennis, not Oilers history. I'm talking about they've been here. A defining moment in this football team. I don't know. Had she said, all right, just pay him and we'll figure it all out, then who do you pick at the 16th pick? Right? I mean, then it goes on and on and on. And who knows?
I still think they might have picked Traylon Burks, but think about how that could have changed his career. not having the pressure of, hey, you're replacing AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Like,
we don't. It's great. We could do a whole show
because
on
we went into that
possibilities.
draft talking about, hey, they still need to add another receiver. And Burks was on a lot of mock drafts, even at that pick of, hey, you got AJ Brown, you add Burks. I think Corey Davis had left at that point.
Yeah, he'd be gone over a year.
Yeah. And so it was like, okay, all right, that could work. And
Well-
you think about if Burks comes in here and doesn't have to hear every day he's replacing AJ Brown, he's AJ Brown 2.0, all that stuff. What might have been different with him?
I saw Burks at Arkansas. He was good.
He was.
He was really good. And to see how
I think they set him up to fail.
oh yeah, I had a good point. I was going to tell you what were we talking about. AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, I look. I don't blame Robinson for Isaiah Wilson because Isaiah Wilson was
Yeah.
good at Georgia.
Yeah.
The Farley pick is the one that got me.
Yeah.
because they knew he was injured.
Yeah.
And what did Tim Hasselbeck say about people with bad backs?
You ever met anybody that used to have a bad back?
True.
It was true.
Oh man,
I heard him say that. I was it was on my show, but I was that was when Dad was sick, so I was taking him to treatment and I was listening, and he was on with Darren and Willie, and I heard him say that, and I looked at my dad and my dad looked at me, and we both were like, "That's a
God,
pretty
that
good
is
point."
so true, right?
I mean, like
that is so
that is
true.
Let's go to Larry real quick before we get to Greg Wyshynski. Larry, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Hey, good. My comment is there's probably some poor ticket executive working for the Titans right now that's about to lose their job because people that have been doing this for 10 years are not going to renew their tickets. And I think that's the very unfortunate thing is,
Yep.
It's not the salespeople; it's the Titans organization. The team sucks.
Yeah. Oh God, I would hate to be trying to sell tickets right now. I would have given them the week off. Thanks, Larry.
Easily. Thank you, Larry.
Could you imagine sitting at your desk and your phone rings and, hey, this is Tim from the Tennessee Titans. What the hell do you want?
Not today, Tim.
And it's like, it's not your fault. It's your job. But damn, that's a bad job right now.
Oh, it's awful. Poor guys and girls.
Coming up next, we'll take a quick break from the Titans. We'll talk to Greg Wyshynski. As the NHL is at the halfway mark, get his thoughts on the Predators. We haven't talked to him in a while. We'll do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game here on this Thursday, live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, as we are every week. Looking forward to that. Also, every week, Greg Wyshynski from ESPN going to join us to talk some hockey. He's presented by Old National Bank. Get old. We're excited to have Greg back with us once again. Greg, how the heck have you been?
I've been all right, man. I've been all right. It's my favorite time of year. It's when all of the other really super popular sports get finished up, and then I get to talk more. All over the place. And that includes the network that signs my checks. So it's a very exciting time to be in hockey right now.
Well, here's what's funny. I'm not even going to ask you about hockey to start because I know you're a wrestling fan like me. What did you think about the WWE Raw debut on Netflix?
So real quick, I didn't appreciate that it wasn't an actual episode of Raw, like it was like a baby pay-per-view. If people were tuning in for the first time and thinking they're getting CM Punk versus Seth Rollins as the main event every week, you don't. You got to sit through a lot of other stuff to get to that kind of stuff. The second thing is, the first 25 minutes of just like absolutely going over the top with praise for Netflix and The Rock joking with the CEO was a bit much. I understand why you got to do it when they're paying you that kind of money, but it was a bit much. And the third thing is, because they're pitching it to try to get people that haven't watched before, and honestly, I don't know how many of those people actually tuned in. Every match was basically like Roman Reigns spears Solo Sikoa, who, by the way, is the cousin of Jacob Fatu, who, by the way, was in the Survivor Series Hell in a Cell against Sami Zayn. It was like an hour of exposition every match just to catch people up with what the hell's going on in wrestling. So it wasn't my favorite, but hey, the stream worked. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, and look, it's gonna be interesting to see them navigate this, and I found it to be interesting when listening to the press conference afterwards with Triple H, Paul Levesque, and you could kind of tell that he's like, hey, we're gonna kind of take this week by week because they don't really know what to expect. But I know they got the numbers were there, and everybody seems to be happy, so we'll see how they kind of build from there. Moving into the NHL, the Predator, we haven't really talked to you much about the Predators. And this season was supposed to be a great season. They signed Jonathan Marchessault and Steven Stamkos and Brady Shea, and they're going to be a contender for the Stanley Cup. And right now, I think you look at the standings; they're towards the bottom. So things have obviously not gone the way that Barry Trotz and Andrew Brunette had hoped. The talk had been about Brunette and his job status. What's kind of your 5,000-foot view of the Predators as we sit at the halfway mark of the season?
Well, obviously, we're just all waiting for the next, 17 games without a loss or whatever it was last season to get them back into this. I mean, obviously we have to cancel a U2 concert trip and all that other stuff too to make it happen again. But look, they're a major disappointment. There's no way to sugarcoat it. How much of that falls on Barry Trotz? How much of that falls on Andrew Brunette? I think will probably come out in the wash after the season. I think you could fault Barry, for example, for not having taken a more aggressive approach to trying to fix the center position early in the season when it became apparent that was going to be a trouble spot. I know, shifting Stamkos there has produced some dividends, but it's not an ideal fix. And, as far as Brunette goes, I know he's going to get a ton of blame for this, and it's hard not to blame the head coach for a lot of it. But when you look inside their numbers, they're at 5-on-5, they're not completely off of their marks from last year insofar as the percentage of shot attempts that they get, their expected goals, that sort of thing. It's not too far away. What is far away is their shooting percentage, where I think they're last in the league right now in shooting percentage. On the coach, is that bad puck luck? Are you just not getting the types of performances that you could expect from guys for whatever reason? I don't know. But it all adds up to a pretty terrible season for them, and unless, of course, they have an incredible winning streak in them again.
We're talking to senior NHL writer from ESPN, Greg Wyshynski, here on the Chasing Big Joe show.
Greg, good to hear from you again. This is Joe. Listen, this hockey team is very frustrating because I thought when they signed everybody on July 1st, I was going to go ahead and buy my Stanley Cup final tickets. Are you as shocked as anyone that they are as bad as they are?
Oh, without question. I thought they were definitely a playoff team. I mean, especially when you take a look at the Western Conference right now, it's clear that there's a spot there that should be the Predators in theory that is going to go to someone who I think is a bit inferior, at least on paper. You know, when they go out and they sign Steven Stamkos, you don't expect him to be anything less than the point per game type talent that he was in Tampa all those years. And look, we know that conditions change. He's not with Braden Point. He's not with Nikita Kucherov, but he's still one of the best offensive players in the league when he's on his mark. And you know, it was a real struggle for him early on. I just think it's a situation for this team. And we talked about the winning streak last year and how that got them into it. But, you know, the other streak that we have to talk about is the way they get off the blocks. I mean, they just did not play well for the first month and a half of the season. They dug themselves a considerable hole, while other teams in the Western Conference they assumed to be competitive with were sprinting out of the gate. And I just think that they've been stuck in an abyss. And when you take two steps forward and then stumble back 3 steps, it's really hard to kind of find your footing.
With the second half of the season starting now, and as bad as they started, can they do a 180? Do you think in your mind this hockey team could do a 180 and get that success and make a strong playoff push?
I hope so. I think this is a really talented team. I mean, they've got obviously incredibly important players, whether it's the players they bought in Stamkos and Marchessault, whether it's the players that were there in Forsberg and O'Reilly and Josie. They've got the advantage of having, in my estimation, one of the top goalies in the league, and Juuse Saros, who can play a ton of games down the stretch. I mean, there is the reality in the multiverse of the NHL where the Predators can turn this thing around and make the playoffs. But the other reality is that, you know, the Western Conference is kind of shaken out the way it is. I mean, you know, they're clearly not going to be a factor in the Central Division with the way that the Jets, the Wild, and the Dallas Stars have played. And, you know, the Colorado Avalanche are right there with those top 3 in the division. So, I mean, if you're the Nashville Predators, the reality is that you're chasing one spot. You're chasing the second wild card spot rather in the Western Conference. And right now that's held down by Vancouver. And you've got a bunch of other teams that are in the mix. But, you know, can this team make up the gap? Can they make up 12 points to catch a Vancouver team that, oh, by the way, is pretty good itself? I can't see it happening, unfortunately, although I think it'd be really exciting if it did.
All too often now, Greg, as you well know, in all the sports, when they get off to a bad start or something bad's happening, we harken back to Braveheart, like, off with their heads. Are you not shocked, but are you surprised the Predators have not made that change as bad as they've played at head coach?
So I think I remember Barry Trotz saying this, and you guys know better than I do. And if I'm incorrect, please correct me. But the way he kind of portrayed this was, we're bringing in some veterans. The guys that are there have earned it, you know, with their playoff qualification last year. We have a chance to maybe do something. But in essence, these are placeholders for the next wave of young Predators players that we certainly don't want to rush. And so I feel like they are not acting with desperation because they're not a desperate team. Now, granted, again, they spent a lot of money to bring in these veteran guys. And a guy like Marchessault is there through 2029, Stamkos 2028. It's not as if there isn't an investment in these players and you hope that they can build something around them. But I think that they've always kind of taken the long view since Barry took over, as insofar as, you know, we've got some players in the pipeline that we like. Let's give them some time. And so, you know, I think there was a sense from the outside that this was an all-in season for the Predators. And I think if you ask Barry, it's probably more like, we are getting some really good veterans that are going to help our younger players, and then maybe the mix can come together in the next 2 to 3 years to really make a push for something.
Real quick, before we let you go, you have a really cool article on ESPN.com as you talk about Alex Ovechkin. He's getting close to Wayne Gretzky in the goal record. I had no idea, and I'd love to know how you figured this out, that they had they shared a teammate. They had a guy that played with both of them, which is crazy.
Yeah, his name is Mike Knuble. You might remember him as one of these guys that just like stood 2 feet in front of the crease and just took abuse from a defenseman and scored a bunch of goals that way. Played with the Flyers, played with a bunch of teams, but also played for the New York Rangers in Wayne Gretzky's final season, and played a few years with Alex Ovechkin in the Capitals while the Caps were in kind of their Bruce Boudreau era. And so what happened is I went to the Cap. This is the 50th anniversary year for the Capitals. So I went to the celebration that they had in DC, and I got to chatting with Knuble, who I covered a little bit when he was at the Capitals, and he kept on mentioning Gretzky and having been a teammate of Gretzky in reference to the Ovechkin chase, and it got me thinking, how many guys actually played with both? I mean, there wasn't any overlap in their careers, so I took it to our incredible ESPN stats and info department. I'm like, how many guys played with Gretzky and Ovechkin? And they're like, it's one. It's this guy, Mike Knuble. I'm like, oh, all right. So I circled back with Mike and got all the details of the story. And thanks for mentioning it, because I really like writing it. It's a lot of insight into both guys on and off the ice, and kind of gives you a little compare and contrast from a guy who played with both, what they did on the ice, how they prepared, and also how important they took being ambassadors of the sport, being the superstars that they are. It's a fun piece.
Well, it definitely is. Go check it out at ESPN.com. Greg, we appreciate it as always, and excited to be talking to you each and every week. So we'll talk next Thursday.
Cool. Thanks, boys.
Thank you. Greg Wyshynski joining us here on the program, presented by Old National Bank. Get old, and glad to have Old National Bank on with
Absolutely.
us as well. So appreciate them. There is some big breaking news.
Huge.
That if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to be floored. The Titans have lost their best employee. That's all I'm going to say.
There we go. Like it. That's good. That's a good tease.
That's what I'm going to say.
Got me. You got me.
Just let me. I
You
know
got
what
me.
I'm doing now.
You got
I know
me.
what I'm doing. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. On this Thursday, we're at the Omni Nashville Hotel, which presents our show each and every day. Dr. Crane is back at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Breaking news involving the Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Volunteers.
Right?
It's rare that those two combine. This is really cool, though. I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty happy. Mike Keith will be leaving the Titans and headed to the Vols to take the place of Bob Kesseling as the new voice of the Vols. Mike is a Tennessee alum, worked on the Vol Network before taking the Titans job. So he got to work with John Ward and Bob Kesseling. And it's this is being reported by Andrew Marchand in The Athletic. Haven't seen Mike confirm it or anybody confirm it yet, but it's true if The Athletic is reporting it.
Yeah, Wes Rucker has it out too as well.
Yeah.
So.
Mike is such a, and look, we'll peel the curtain back a little bit. Mike's not on this station. We're not the flagship of the Titans, but Mike has always been very, very cool to me and obviously to you. You've known him a long time. He is a tremendous human being. I love how he calls a game and his craft. And, a few weeks ago, I was driving back from Florida and listened to him and Coach Mack on, Titans radio all the way back. And I texted Mike and I just said, hey, I just wanted to and they won the game. It was the Texans game. Yeah. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know that you made my drive so much more enjoyable because it was great listening to the game. I felt like I was there. He just does a tremendous job. And I thought this was going to happen all along. We didn't talk about it a whole lot on the air, but we talked about it behind the scenes. I really did. I was like, look, that you cannot step in between someone and their dream job.
No, not at all.
And look, he would probably be the first to tell you this. The Tennessee Titans in the NFL was a dream job.
Yeah.
And calling that each week. We sit here and critique the Titans and pick on the Titans. Their broadcast is not part of that because Mike and Coach Mack make that so good. Frank before that. And what's ironic is he's going to be reunited with his first partner with the Titans, right?
Pat Ryan.
Yeah.
And, my thing, we talked about this, is like, how appealing is Starkville
He's got something.
on a Tuesday night in February? Is that exciting for you? I mean, look, we understand that. But overall, I mean, you can go home again.
Yeah.
And when you bring up Mike Keith's name about taking that job, everybody snaps fingers like, that's it.
Yeah.
Not one person said, no, I don't know. It's a dream job part 2 for him. And you're right. I mean, he is one of the most genuine, kind-hearted people. I know Mike. We graduated high school the same year. We ran the same circles. He's just a good dude. And I've also heard this from people who have done play-by-play, have reached out to Mike, give me pointers. Not only is he giving them pointers, he's giving them pages and pages of notes and advice. So he's just a good dude. This is a great day for Tennessee athletics. It is a great day.
And it's a bad day for it's been a bad week for the Titans. I mean, it just is.
It is.
Look,
my friend George, to tell you, looks like Mike Keith won't be interviewing Amy anytime soon. So that's for you, Chase.
Hey, we were wondering why we hadn't gotten the Mike Keith
right?
Amy interview. Well, now we know he's going to Rocky Top. So that I'm excited for Mike. This is awesome, and I'll be curious to see what the Titans do next. I'm going to say what I just texted. I want Jared to apply for it just to screw with him.
Oh wow! Tell you, this job will be posted on LinkedIn. Apply for it then, Jared. Go for it and see what they say. Look, I think at some point it'd be great to have a really funny. When Dennis Miller did the games, people hate. I laughed.
Yeah,
it was different. I laughed. So I don't know where they go, but good for Tennessee athletics, man. That is as we approach baseball season, that's a home run hire. I don't think he's doing baseball though.
I had hoped, and I do wonder if I do wonder if this was ever on the table. There have been situations where somebody's done both. Like Wes Durham used to do it.
Gene Deckerhoff,
Gene Deckerhoff still does
Tampa Bay.
Tampa,
I think
Florida
he
State.
quit with one of those two.
He still does Tampa.
Okay,
I
then he
do
did
know
with FSU then. Yeah,
But I mean, it has been done before. West Durham did. Was it Georgia Tech and then the Falcons?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't Andre Ware used to do? He does Texans games and then college football on Saturday,
Yeah.
so it can be done.
And like I would assume that's not the case here, but who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe he's, but he's doing basketball too, so that'd be a tough schedule. But
Yep.
I had kind of in a dream world had hoped, he could stay with the Titans and then also do the Vols and make that work. But the reports from the Athletic and others, Mike Keith leaving the Titans to be the voice of the Vols, which is really cool. So once that's all announced, we'll reach out and see if we can get Mike on. I'd love to talk to him about that. Let's go to the phone, 615-737-1025. Trey wants to give us credit. That doesn't happen a lot. So go ahead, Trey. What's up?
Prank call.
What's up, guys? Hey,
What's up?
Hey, I just want to give y'all credit for actually, I think y'all initiated that hire because when y'all had, I'm serious, when y'all had Keslin on and y'all was talking about it and he was talking about his career, and I think Big Joe threw Mike's name out there, then the job just falls in Mike's lap. Come on. It doesn't get any better than that. And I just
Trey,
want
thank
to say,
you.
Hey, y'all do a good job, and hey, people are listening to y'all. Don't think people are not listening to y'all. People are listening to y'all in that organization over there. Y'all keep it up, and thank you. Have a good day.
All right,
Thank you, Trey. Appreciate it.
Flag that as the best call ever in the history of 102.5. Thank you.
Oh, that was good. I appreciate that.
But you make a good point up. Who takes the Titans job?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. I am going to put a name out there, and they might be mad at me for putting it out there, but I am going to do it. But I want to. I'm trying to. I believe Mike Keith has actually made this official. So I'm trying to pull his Twitter account up.
Is he on Twitter?
I think it's like Titans Voice or here we go. Yeah, it's time.
Oh, nice. It's a nice graphic of the stadium and him.
Yep. So congratulations to Mike.
Quick question for you.
Yep.
What's your dream job?
I'm doing it. I mean, you kind of. For a long time, it was to be the voice of Monday Night Football. I mean, that was play by play was a passion, and then
why is it was?
Well, it's it's something I've actually been thinking a lot about lately. I got into this job, and I kind of got away from it. And, you know this, we're not going to go too far into this, but I've known you a long time and worked with you for a long time. There was a part of my life and career where I was surrounded by people telling me I wasn't good at this.
You were correct.
And I think I believed it for a minute. And once I kind of got away from that and realized that I was pretty good at this, things started to take off. And so I don't know, but I have thought about that a lot more lately. Honestly, I love what I'm doing here. But if I ever were to get back into that field, and football would probably be what I'd want to call, or racing.
Okay.
Let's get obviously.
Was out of your dictionary.
Okay.
We're done with that, and we're gonna go forward.
I like it.
We got some things working.
Okay.
All right. So it's letting you know that.
But look, the Chasing Big Joe show is a lot of
pretty
fun.
solid. Mine was I wanted to be Letterman. I still want to be Letterman.
There was a time where I was kind of on that road too when I was younger, like Leno and Letterman. Like I loved both of them.
I think that's a great job. I don't watch late night TV now, but Letterman before he got too political, and Leno made me laugh. That was my dream job, and at 56, I'm still not giving it up. But I absolutely love what we get to do from 9 to 11 every weekday. I will tell you that right now. Not because you're the boss, but because we do this together, and this is our, Mike Keith's dream job was Tennessee. This is pretty close to the top.
I'm going to throw a name out there for this job.
Not now.
Oh, you want me to do? You want me to wait?
Ooh, I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
have no idea.
I'll give you a name. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on this thing. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game here on this Thursday. Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White tweeting out, "We got our guy. Welcome home, Mike." As Mike Keith will leave the Titans and become the voice of the Vols. Very excited for Mike, and well deserved. He is a VFL. But it's
Great.
a huge look. It is a major loss for the Titans.
Please tell me how the scenario went down when somebody told Amy Adams that you're losing your voice. I mean, just knock on the door. Hey, Amy, real quick.
I have my voice just fine.
Amy, real quick. Your daily updates. Yeah, we still suck. We got the number 1 team. Everybody hates us. Oh, and Mike Keith quit. All right. Have a good day.
I hope somebody just called her like she does when she fires people.
I mean, what do you think her reaction is? Probably don't. Chad will handle it.
I don't know.
Are
Look,
this Rand still on the payroll? Make him do it.
Yeah. What?
All right. Get in there, Rand.
Call up J Rob. We're paying him. He could call the game.
Right? Oh my God.
Oh, that was good. Look, I'm going to throw a name out there,
Ooh,
and
okay.
don't get mad at me for throwing this out there, but Jonathan Hutton needs to be their first call.
Really?
Jonathan Hutton has, obviously worked with Titans Radio, and he's he's very good at play-by-play. He's a great broadcaster. He knows the city, knows the team. I think he's the perfect heir apparent.
Wow.
So, Hut,
Not thinking
we
about
love you,
that.
man. I know you're doing a lot of good things at Outkick, but you got my vote.
Wow. Does he have any NFL experience or play-by-play and college?
Well, he has he's done a ton of play-by-play.
Okay.
But obviously worked with Titans Radio for a long time. So
Still well-liked.
still well liked.
That's a
very
good
well
one.
respected.
That's a really good one. I don't think about that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's something you want to get done quickly as well. Add that to your dumpster fire, Titans.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
good for Mike.
Good for Mike.
Somebody-
And look, in all kidding aside, my guess is, as dumb a decisions as she's made as an owner, my guess is she's just as happy for Mike Keith as we are.
I don't know, man.
It's a loss for her organization, but if you give a damn about your people at all, and his history and what that job, not that the Titans job didn't mean anything to him, because it certainly did, but there's just certain things that it's like, that's the one. Like, you asked me what my dream job was. If I got a call today that Fox Sports was going to hire me that Mike Joy was retiring and I was going to be the new voice of NASCAR, I would give you the biggest hug in the world, and I would tell everybody I love you, and I'll call me anytime. But I would take that in a heartbeat.
Did you see the reveal from Tennessee Athletics?
Oh, that's cool.
He's already in the press box, dressed in orange. They shot the video, went across the field like a drone shot in there. Good for you, Mike. I mean, some smart ass on Twitter that I used to work with said, "Oh boy, yeah, all the hoops and all the call-in shows you got to do, and leaving the comfort of the NFL." You think Mike Keith cares about that? Because he's working for his dream job, his university. Give me all the call-in shows.
Yeah.
Give me the trips to Gainesville, Starkville, Columbia, South Carolina, Missouri. Give me those. If that's my dream job, pile it on, man. Pour it on me.
I'll be curious, because I know that John Ward meant a lot to him.
Mhm.
I could see some John Wardisms getting worked in sometimes as a little tribute, which would be cool. I mean,
Yes.
and Bob did too. Look, they worked together for a long time. So.
I will say, and look, we love Mike, and he listened on the radio when you're on the road. It had to be at some point like painful, right? I mean, seeing this, you went through as a play-by-play guy, you are the guy that has to keep the smile all the time. Callahan can get pissed off. Whoever's running the team get pissed off, but you're the guy we all look to. You have to smile all the time, no matter how bad it's going. And listen to him do these last couple of games. You just like, oh God. And then last year, and then 22 when they had the tailspin. Good for Mike Keith. Good for him.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. 5724. No, you need Jared as the voice of the Titans. How positive that would be.
Can you imagine? What are we doing? And real quick story.
Kuharski, people say Kuharski.
Oh yeah, at the old Greer Stadium in the old one, the press box, you could lean. The windows were open, and I worked with a guy one time who used to, yell out sounds players because they're doing terrible, and all the people in the front and the back of the row would hear him do that and would look up at him yelling. And it was funny because he was being accurate. Could you imagine Jared in that role? I mean, he'd be pretty accurate.
Yeah. Look,
No filtered.
Jared would be great at that role. If they're smart, they
ain't
here,
hired him. They're
no, they're
smart.
not. But here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Right.
I miss the old days of Marty Brenneman and Marty Brenneman calling Reds games and basically saying like that was a BS play at first base, or like calling it like he sees it. You know, there's too many times now where you work for the team. It's like, you know, you stand in the lobby and clap for the guy that they're going to just fire 2 years later.
Yeah, if I'm paying you, you sure as hell better get up there
right.
and do that.
But that's nobody has an opinion anymore. By the way, Robert says calling NASCAR. Oh, look, they're making a left turn. Hey, Robert, I don't come to your house and pee in your Cheerios and all over your dreams.
Left turn, left turn, left. Oh, that's great. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh that loud.
That's okay. Do you feel better?
Oh yeah.
Now I'm getting texts about what happened. Where's Mike? So Mike Keith headed to the Vols. So it has been a rough week for the old two-tone blue.
It has. Oh man.
But you know, if they're at rock bottom, there's only one way to go up, and that's up.
It is. Now you have the GM watch, and now you got the voice of the Titans watch.
Maybe hey Chad, can you find a GM that can do both? That way we only have to pay one person.
Right. I'm telling you, they're going to call Rand to come back to do this. Rand, get in the booth.
Rand and J. Rob and Coach Mac.
And Vrabel.
And Vrabel.
If he doesn't have a job, still on the payroll, come back and do this.
I'm texting with Brett right now. Somebody said Brett Kern should do it. That Brett Kern is it was Dustin in Hopkinsville. Boys, I think Brett Kern would be a fine hire. He's very intelligent.
Too much punting talk. Kidding, Brett.
So yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting name.
Huh.
John Davidson listening out in Paris, Tennessee. John, we love you, man. Tell Hank Jr. we said hello. Hank Jr. listens to the show all the time out in Paris.
Hank.
You want this name?
Yeah.
Joe Fisher.
Oh.
Joe Fisher.
That would be great too. Yeah. Joe deserves another chance.
Absolutely, he does.
Yeah.
100% he does.
That would be big.
Knows Nashville,
be
knows
big.
the team, knows the player.
I don't think they'll do that, but that would be
It's
big.
important to know the players, not on the field, but behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And Joe knows all them.
Yeah.
So we're on record. We're voting for Joe Fisher. Hutton and Joe Fisher.
Hutton and Joe Fisher.
So-
I'd be fine with either one of those.
This is interesting. What a
And
week.
Jared just for the circus.
What an interesting week with the GM. Look, we laughed for years, you and I did, because nothing big ever happened while we were on the air. And so last year we got the Vrabel thing, right? So that was good for us. And then we get the GM, and now this Mike Keith. This is fun, man.
Yeah. Well, we're like I said, we're over the moon, excited for Mike and the dream job. You know, it's cool to see good people get to live out their dreams. And he's done it twice now. I mean, like the Titans job is a dream job too, but now to be able to go back home, so to speak, I think that will be really, really cool for him. Coming up next,
Wes says, if Rand called the game, he'd be like, sorry, Titans fans, the ball just didn't bounce our way today.
And he started off, or when they'd win, and be like, we checked every box today. Oh, we kid because we care. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Thursday. You know, it just kind of hit me with Mike Keith going to the Vols and, you know, now the Titans need a new voice. It could just be like pro wrestling. Like, you know, one week, you know, you're enemies and, you know, you're bashing each other. And then the next week, you know, if they hire Jared, it's like, no, we're cool now. Go Titans.
Could be.
It's just like wrestling.
You keep bringing his name up like he has some sort of chance.
No, he has no chance. But
They're
it's
probably
funny.
sitting.
The text line's bringing it up
They're
too.
probably sending him a rejection letter now to get out in front of it.
Hey, I just got one. Says you're kidding, right?
Oh man.
Anyway, you're right there, Judge.
Oh my gosh.
Live today
Things
at
we
the
know.
Omni Nashville Hotel here at Bar Lines. As yes, Mike Keith heads to the Vols. But with that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list, we have Balloon Ascension Day. So if you
Huh?
have it says
What?
Balloon Ascension Day. So basically, if you have a hot air balloon, hop in your little baggie you got there and just fly up in
Pass.
I just have a bunch of hot air.
the- Oh,
Pat, I
oh,
will.
boy.
Have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
No thanks.
No, I'd probably go though.
No.
I do it once.
You're in a picnic basket 5,000 feet up. No. All right. Sorry, Dr. Crane.
No, you're fine. All good. Next, we have is a Healthy Weight and Healthy Look Day. So,
Not us.
that, you know, well, it's everybody. International Choreographers Day. Everybody looks great, Joe. You got to remember that. Everybody looks great in their own skin.
Do you know how to do the electric slide, Dr. Crane?
Yeah.
We should all do it. International Choreographer Day. We could do that.
Yeah, we should. National Apricot Day is next. You can refuel your energy with that. That's actually really good. Love me a good apricot. Let's see. National Casserole. No, that's not a casserole. That does not look like a casserole. Next one we have is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Wait, back up. It's not National Casserole Day?
Nah, I don't know what that is. It's like
What word is it?
it's a phonics thing. We're not doing it today, Joe.
No, we are doing it.
Well, it's like National Cassoulet Day. I don't know. It's like a French word, it looks like.
Okay.
I don't know. Next one we have. Hey, Vingan, can you get away from me, please? Golly. National
Vingan,
Static
Adam,
Electricity
your
Day.
show starts at 11. Like,
Golly,
chill.
breathing over my neck. National Word Nerd Day is next.
That's
And then,
Vingan.
That's been good right there.
Play God Day is next. So there's
Nope.
that.
No, nobody should do that.
All right. Yeah. Are we good now?
All good.
Do you have enough space behind you, Dr. Crane, when
Plenty.
bad breath isn't breathing down your neck?
It's all right. I
right.
know I should get at Vingan for his birthday.
All right, here we go. Time for celebrity birthdays. You got to get these within two. Let's do this, folks. We tied yesterday because you guys were terrible. First birthday today is folk singer Joan Baez.
67.
73.
84 years old. Next is, I saw him a few months ago at a hotel hanging around. Rocker Jimmy Page might be the best guitar player of all time. Might be. He's a top three.
Wasn't it just John Paul Jones' birthday too?
It was.
That's funny. Jimmy Page, I'm going to say 77.
75.
81. Dang. Oh, here we go. Nice pop up there. Appreciate you on that one. Okay, hold on. Hold on here. Singer Crystal Gale.
75.
65.
74. Chase up 1-0. Crystal Gale, sister of
Loretta Lynn.
Loretta Lynn.
Yep.
Job. One of our favorite actors, J.K. Simmons. Today's his birthday.
I just saw him in Red One. He was good in that movie. 67.
69.
70. Tied at 1. Nick, didn't you see him in
Nice.
Whiplash?
He is in Whiplash. Really good movie
He won an Academy Award for that.
with the young Miles Teller.
He
did.
played Ralph Earnhardt, the father of Dale Earnhardt, in the ESPN movie 3.
Did he really?
Mhm.
Barry Pepper was.
Yeah, Barry Pepper was Dale.
All right, singer Dave Matthews. I don't look. Y'all love Dave Matthews. That's fine.
I'm
I
not
don't
a.
get
hu-
it.
I look. I respect them, and I like some of their songs, but
Yeah.
I'm not like our buddy Jeremy Gover is absolutely obsessed with him. I'm
It's
not.
fine.
Dave Matthews. This might be 65.
64.
58.
Okay.
On down here, a few other people here. Singer AJ McLean. of the Backstreet Boys, the one that Chase refers to as Cutie Pie.
That's not true.
AJ
My attorney will be in contact with you for that slander. Let's see. AJ, I'm going to say 51.
52.
47. We're tied at 1. You guys have been terrible. Come on now.
We're the Titans.
All right. Buster Poindexter, singer actor David Johansen, better known as Buster Poindexter.
58.
54.
75.
Nice.
My goodness. Going some more. Actor Dion Cole, comedian. He's in the TV show Blackish. He does the Old Spice commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Very funny man.
46.
53.
54. Dr. Crane's up 2-1. All right, we'll get some more here for you. His birthdays. Okay. Catherine, Princess of Wales. We hope that she is doing better. Catherine, Princess of Wales.
77.
67.
43. That's
Oh,
okay.
wrong
That's
one.
Prince,
That Kate.
yes.
Why didn't you just say Kate?
Because it says Catherine, Princess of Wales. That's her correct title. Why don't you just get
But
it
everybody
right?
knows her as Kate.
Not me. I know her as Catherine
No, you don't.
when I met her at Virago that night. All right. So we're tied 2-1. No, I'm sorry. Dick's up 2-1. All right, here we go. Mark Martin. That's NASCAR driver.
70.
67.
65. Nick's up
He's
3-1.
always looked older.
Muggsy Bogues.
58.
62.
59. Now 3-2. We're down to our last three. Chase, I hope you get this one. Former Predator Radek Bonk.
Love Radek Brown. What a random birthday.
Right?
47.
42.
48. We're tied at 3. Down to our final two. Sergio Garcia.
I love Sergio. 50.
53.
44.
Hey.
Our final birthday. Former Nashville Sound. He played with the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants. Stan Javier. Former Nashville
That is
Sound
not
player.
who I thought you were going to say.
Stan Javier. Today's his birthday. Played with the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants. For the win.
58.
61.
Ooh, man. He is 60. Dr. Crane, you get the win
Dang.
4-3.
All right. Thank you.
Price is right.
That might want to be our best games, man. Right down to the wire. Well done.
Dr. Crane, your prize is you get to work overnights the next 3 nights. So congratulations
I'll pass.
on that. No, I wasn't giving you a choice. So
Oh.
congratulations on that. That is going to do it for us here today.
Yes, what a week it's been. Listen, as we do our message all the time to our guys out there, if you are struggling on your cell phone, you can dial 988 or you can text 988. No matter what, please talk to someone. We tell you all the time, please reach out to us. We're here for you 24/7. We talked to a lot of you guys in 24, and we loved it. We love talking to y'all, and we go through this together. We tell you all the time, we love you. More importantly, God loves you. And if something happened to you, I'm telling you, every single show, every single day, you will be tremendously missed. That's why we want you to know that you are tremendously loved by us and by God. And please never forget that.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. I heard David James laughing back there so he can work overnights with you. That's going to do it for us. DVD coming up next here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.